Hey, everybody. I'm Chris Metzler, one of the programmers here with SF Indie Fest. Thanks again for being here. You just had a chance to see the really wonderful film, The Queen in the Ring, and we're lucky enough to have some of the team here. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, thank you. I'm Amy Shope. I produced the movie. So
Very
thanks
cool.
for watching it.
Well, awesome. Well, it's always kind of exciting to see the different films that we run through in submissions and get a chance to bring them here to San Francisco. I know one thing many in the audience are probably wondering, like, what was the inspiration for the kind of idea for the film?
Yeah, well, it was based on a book. And so Ash was introduced to the book um, by Jeff Ross, and he loved it and was just like, I can't believe he's been a wrestling fan. Ash Appleton's the writer director and my producing partner. And we did our last movie together, his last movie, American Satan. And he was turned on to the book by Jeff and read it. And Ash has been a longtime wrestling fan. And he was like, how come I don't know about this amazing woman, Mildred Burke? I mean, she was just such an icon. I mean, she's the one that created basically women in the ring. She's the one that was her idea. She got in the ring. It was, outlawed in many states. And she just really, was headstrong and wanted to do it. She was a single mom and a waitress, and she knew that's not the life she wanted. She wanted something different. She wanted to perform. And the book is like, it's just got, a lot of amazing facts about her, and then also introduces all these other people during that time that were, so important in the world of wrestling. And so we did our best to truncate the book, which is long and goes off in a lot of different spaces. So, Ash, we did our best to. It could have been, much, much longer, but we worked on the edit for a long time, and it was really hard to cut out certain stories. So we did our best to keep the important ones for this movie. Yeah.
Very nice. So this is definitely thrilling. Obviously, with any film, it's can be challenging to kind of find the right casting. But then when you also have something, a role that requires kind of such physical demands,
Yeah.
I imagine that that's its own kind of challenge to go through. So how did you guys go about casting here? What was kind of the training process like, so that for those that are wrestling fans, you know what we saw on screen kind of held up to what their expectations are, but also just had really talented acting.
Yeah. And I want to just make a correction. It's Jim Ross, not Jeff Ross. I'm like, I'm not the Ash is the wrestling icon there. So yeah, it's really important in the casting process that the lead, Emily Bett Rickards, who did an amazing job, be actually strong and want to train. And so, she had the perfect body type for it. And she just, immediately we knew that she was right. And she did we shot in Louisville, Kentucky. And it has a lot of really awesome period architecture. And there's some couple, other indie. They've got a great tax incentive and a couple other reasons why we decided to shoot there. So yeah, she came out to Louisville a good 3 weeks before shooting and started training. We had actually a number of our girls, women came out and started training, and we worked with OBW there. There's a actual, wrestling community there. So we worked with them in training, and so it was a lot of fun. They came out in a good 3 weeks, which is, a good amount of time for movies. A lot of times movies, you come out for a few days, but it was really important to us that they actually learned the moves, and almost all the women actually did most of the moves. There's just a few, we did stunt doubles just for a few of the moves. So all the moves that you see in the movie, actually, the women really
Oh wow!
trained. They had some bruises, and they were all about it, and they really wanted to be authentic as possible.
And were you a wrestling fan beforehand? And if not, like, what's something that kind of most surprised you? I guess through telling the
Yeah.
journey of the story.
I mean, I know of wrestling, and I think wrestling is interesting because it's so over the top. It's very theatrical. It's, in a way, it's like they have their own little stories in movies, which I think is interesting because it's sort of, storytelling, like all films are. It's not something I have not, I'm not a wrestling fan, originally, in terms of going to the shows, but I always found it fun, right? I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
Ash is the one that's been a fan for his whole life. So, you know, when he brought this to me, it was just her story and how important it was to tell the story of this woman who, in essence, was the first, you know, $1 million female athlete in a time where she was really the first. And she, you know, I really liked that story. I like telling stories of people that, you know, we wouldn't normally know of. And obviously empowering female stories was important to me. So,
Yeah.
with wrestling, I just thought it was really interesting that I didn't realize they actually do sort of behind the scenes before the game. They practice, they script it basically. And so
Mm.
they run it, they, you know, kind of get it ready. And then when, you know, you actually have it, then everything is sort of, I mean, I knew it was scripted and sort of people say fake, but it's not really fake. They really are still taking the bumps and, you know, they're, you know, not totally getting hurt, but it's not like they're missing, you know, it's actually, it's pretty real. So that sort of fine line between the two things, what's scripted and what's really real, and how that sort of is played out between the agents and the managers sort of before the fact, is, I thought was really interesting. I didn't know all these behind the scenes, you know, politics of it. And so again, even more, it's very similar to what we do in movies and filmmaking. So I thought that was a really fun sort of synergy.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, the film turned out really great, and one of the things I always remind our audiences here is that we're lucky enough that filmmakers like you get a chance to share, films with us early on, and so our job is to kind of go out there and kind of be the grassroots street team. So, can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming release of the film, and so we can kind of help spread the word as it
Yeah,
gets out
thank
there?
you. Yeah, we're releasing right around the corner, so it's super important to talk about it. It's on March 7th, and we're releasing across the country in over 1,000 screens, and so it will be playing there in San Francisco, and for those watching in a theater near you. So please, follow us on our socials, Queen of the Ring, queenoftheringmovie.com. And you'll see all the theaters. It'll be listed of where it is close to you. But we did a deal with AMC, so it'll be in an AMC theater most likely near you on March 7th. And independent film needs all your support. So if you like this, please spread the word and go again and see it in the theater, because I think this movie is really important to see it big and to cheer her on and like sort of be a part of that audience that supports. So that'd be amazing.
Most definitely. Thank you again, Amy. And yeah, everybody, just remember, after you see the film here, follow Queen of the Ring, on social media, and make sure people, hear about it, whether it be in your backyard barbecue or after drinks after the screening. And so, really appreciative of filmmakers sharing their films with us. And let's kind of turn folks out here for the theatrical release next month. Thanks again,
Awesome.
Amy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Take
it.
care.